work with whatever you feel is blocking you and blocking your experience of freedom. Also, you can work with illness, like chronic pain, but also it can help us work with our emotional reactions to our physical pain or illness. So you don't necessarily have to know what the demon is. You just have to feel in your body what's blocking me right now. What's blocking me? Anger, jealousy, competitiveness, stubbornness, sadness, depression, all of that, any of that works. Any of this can be brought to the Feeding Your Demons practice. And many traditions, obviously, there's purification practices. Specifically, I can speak from the Buddhist perspective of, the reason why we forget who we are, why we suffer, why we cling to a separate sense of self is because we have these karmic veils that obscure that perception, that knowing, that luminosity, that cloud our luminosity. And so purificatory practices, whether it's mantra recitation, prostrations, making offerings of the mandala, or bodhicitta prayer, there's all sorts of ways in the nundro and the preliminary practices of Vajrayana Buddhism that we purify our perception so that we can, it's kind of like earning our way there a bit, which ultimately this is nothing to be earned, but the thinking mind, sometimes it needs to purify, but also sometimes our karmic patterns are pretty dense, and if that's just the way it is, lifetimes. And so these are ancient technologies that help us purify the veils so that we can have greater access. And feeding your demons is definitely a way of doing that, of resolving and reintegrating, remembering who we are through feeding the demon and then meeting the ally, who's none other than you. The demon's none other than you, and the ally is none other than you. But yeah, it's a form of purification, absolutely, and integration, and maybe even, I don't want to say more, but maybe equal or even perhaps more powerful for us modern people at times, where our emotional body needs some tending.